Okay, morning. We're here for our first board session of the new year. It's January 4th, 2023. We're here in the Senator Hearing Room at 555 Court Street. And as always, if you will join us, we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, it's good to see everybody. Happy New Year. Why are you laughing at me? I was telling you to be quiet in that coffee shop.
You got a peanut gallery in the back row today.
Yeah, yeah, we have, for public comment, we have Noni signed up, so nobody signed up today, and we'll go right into our consent agenda. It's a really long one.
I know, I'm thrilled that I get to read it.
Yes.
Under consent, I will move to approve under the tax office an order for a property tax refund in the amount of $29,240.16 for Cannon Court Apartments LLC tax account number 582692.
I'll second the motion. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
This is super awkward.
Whoa,
I'm like,
you're way down.
well, aside from that, but I'm like, wait, what's my role? What am I supposed to say next?
I can tell you, the second vice chair is the most important position that we have.
Staff asked me yesterday if I was coming today.
It really is. I mean, because if nobody else is here, you get to rule the world, right?
That's right.
Yeah. You thought the chair was powerful. Wait till you get
So powerful. Did y'all miss my power last year?
Mm-hmm. All right. Our first action item is under Health and Human Services, which we have several today under Health and Human Services. It's to consider approval of amendment number 1 for contract services with Partnerships in Community Living, Inc., to add $50,000 to a new contract total of $191,440 to provide client foster care services through June 30th. Carissa, welcome. Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Yes. So for the record, Carissa Neufeld, I'm the Human Services Division Director for Health and Human Services. And this is a pretty simple, straightforward request. We're requesting to add an additional $50,000 to an existing contract to help with cost of living increases supplied by the State Office of Oregon Department of Human Services for increases associated with Social Security rate increases. So just to refresh on this contract, we have a couple of individuals that are paid through state general fund, and Marion County serves as a pass-through for those individuals receiving services in a residential or foster care setting. And this contract in particular helps cover medical expenses, living expenses, and personal care for individuals who aren't able to access the regular path of Medicaid and SSI income. So this individual has lived with PCL for Partnerships in Community Living for many years and continues to choose this provider and wanting to receive their services through this provider. So again, the $50,000 is to help with the cost of living increases, consistent with cost of living increases that the Social Security Administration approved for SSI this 2023 calendar year.
Any questions?
I do. I remember this coming, I feel like it was my first year. And you'd given a great description of what this service is, but I don't remember the number of people that it's paying for. I know it's like one individual in care, but how many people support the individual for this amount of money?
This individual, I believe so we have in the residential system, there's a service group level assignment for rates, and I believe this person is at a high
needs level.
High needs level.
So like a 24/7 care.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye. Okay. That motion passes, and Mr. Chair, I'll hand
Thanks, Krista.
the gavel back to you. Welcome.
Thank you.
morning.
Happy New Year.
Good morning. I'm sorry I was late.
Not a problem.
Thanks for being tardy. Okay.
The second vice chair did great, White, in your absence, and the first vice chair, so
I apologize to the second
Anytime we can
vice
help.
chair for
anytime we can help.
making you do a little bit of work. Okay, next up, we are going to consider a contract for services with Church in the Park in the amount of $250,000 to provide substance use disorder services to clients residing in Marion County.
I feel like confetti should fall from the sky right
Good
now.
morning, Carol.
I'm so thrilled that this is here.
Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, my name is Carol Hurd. I am the Division Director for Addiction Treatment Services with Marion County Health and Human Services.
Will you move the microphone closer to your face? Thanks.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay. So I am here today seeking approval for a contract of $250,000 for Church at the Park. As you are aware, Marion County Health and Human Services was awarded Measure 110 funding in the amount of just over $2.4 million to increase access to substance use disorder treatment services. Contracting with community-based organizations is one way Marion County Health and Human Services is seeking to bridge the gap between underserved populations and needed services. Church at the Park will focus primarily on increasing access to substance use disorder treatment services for the homeless population. And they will do this by hiring 3 full-time peer support specialists, which will be located at micro shelter stations to facilitate care coordination. I'm hearing feedback.
Just keep talking, they'll figure it out.
Okay. Increase awareness through education, outreach, and referral to behavioral health resource network partners. Peer support specialists will assist participants with engaging in and connecting to SUD services, provide outreach 5 days a week to known homeless camps, as well as those which appear throughout the year. And in addition to educating and connecting individuals to substance use treatment services, the peer support team will help with transportation needs of participants to and from treatment appointments.
And are you done? You open for questions?
I am open for questions.
Okay. Any questions?
I don't have any questions. I just want to say thanks to Katrina and Ryan and now Carol for really working hard in the community-based organization level to partner and get the services that we offer to the most vulnerable population. I think it's not a secret that the homeless population in Marion County is large, and a significant number of them have addiction issues, and there's a number of barriers for them to be able to receive services and treatment. And this is one of the methods that Marion County is investing in this realm of money that we received from the state, but in general, we were doing it before we even got the money. This just helped us further along. I truly believe in the mission of Church in the Park. I think they're actually doing real work with real outcomes. They have data to prove it, and this is only going to help them increase the ability to reduce the number of people living on our streets. So please keep me apprised of kind of how this is going. I'm eager to see their success and then kind of double down in the future on the ability to provide these services. And transportation is in here. I just looked over the scope of work really quick, which is fundamentally one of the biggest challenges that exist for folks to receive service, because as much as we all want to think the transportation system is readily available and accessible, it's not for people who live in, treed parks in the middle of nowhere. So I'm very excited. Thanks for bringing this today and for following through on it.
Any questions, Commissioner Cameron?
Oh, good. That's great.
Carol, is this, my understanding was we might have some sort of co-location with Church in the Park as far as our behavioral health services. Is this it, or is there more?
This is not it.
Okay.
I know we have some mentors that work with individuals and through Church at the Park. I don't believe this is the co-location services.
Okay, but is that's still planned, or that's not your division? That's somebody else's division.
I have no information on that,
Okay.
but I can find out and get back to you.
I would appreciate that. So this is really just peers on location, connecting folks to services. That's
Yes.
basically what this is. specifically drug and alcohol
Yes,
rehabilitation
all of the
services.
burn funding is specific to substance use disorder treatment services.
What happens if these folks go to these places and they identify folks that have substance abuse disorders and those folks refuse services? Will we do some sort of review on the efficacy of this program after 12 months? Or?
So one of the other functions that they are going to utilize is harm reduction. That's secondary to if we can get them into treatment services. Otherwise, talking to them about, it's referred to as safer use and building their Narcan and making sure that all of their staff are trained. And so people who are around have Narcan on them at all times and are trained to use it if they come across an individual in overdose.
I guess the only thing that I want to, make sure that we're paying attention to is whether this is effective. So,
Yes.
so the issue question with Measure 110 was by decriminalizing drugs, more people are going to get service.
Yeah.
That's a hypothesis that has not been proven.
Right.
So as we go forward with this, and folks are out there trying to connect people with services, I think it's important that we track, are we actually connecting people with services? Are people actually engaging in services or not? And it may not be that our folks are doing a bad job out there. It just may be that the policy is not designed to succeed, right?
Right.
You can have well-intentioned people that think that this will succeed, but it might not. And so I just want to make sure we're paying attention to that and not feeling like it's our fault if folks refuse to engage in service or don't engage in service. If you set up a system that's designed for failure, then it's going to fail. On the other hand, I'm rooting for it. I hope that this works, but I want to make sure we're doing a good assessment on it as we go along.
This system, this program is one more step towards our ability to collect data through the HMIS system. So Church in the Park is an active user of that, and in partnership with our peers, every person that enters into Church in the Park is entered into the HMIS system. And every time they're referred to a service, receive a service, success or fail at a service, that's tracked. That data is available to us and to the health department. Because I'm working on kind of this project as a whole and receiving data updates on the services that are available in our community. And the one component we don't have is Marion County Health Department, is we don't actually use the HMIS system for a variety of reasons that hopefully in the future will break down some of the barriers for that. But because Church in the Park does, within 60 days, depending on how active the peers are, we can go in and say, of the 250 people in their service right now, of the 3 camps that they have been interacted with in this space with these peers, and they received this, and the denial, they refused to engage because. That refusal piece then leads to the next step, which is compassionate accountability. How does Marion County citizens want their dollars to be invested so they have good, healthy, livable standards in their communities and expectations of the citizens that live here? And currently, we don't have a way to collect the refusal of service for what we do in Marion County for the services we offer. So this is one way to do that with our partners.
Mr. Chair, if I may, is Church in the Park a low barrier shelter? They
Yeah.
accept anybody,
Uh-huh.
right? So,
Yeah.
so that's where the refusal would come in, because it's not like some other shelters where you have to participate in a program to stay here.
Actually, we don't have any shelters in Marion County that require you to participate in any program.
UGM says they're not, but.
They are not. In
Yeah.
fact, I can prove that they're not. You can, if you're an individual in Salem and you are standing on the corner of Front Street and you get high, you can still walk over to UGM and go in and receive one of their night beds. You can receive meals and any of the things. You don't have to enter into the leadership program or the ministry program to receive care.
Right.
So they are a low barrier, but Church in the Park it's actually the same model. They just don't have a long-term program like the Union Gospel Mission does.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Good. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to add to this robust discussion over here?
Before we make a motion to approve this contract?
No, the only thing I was going to add is we will be receiving quarterly reports from Church at the Park regarding services provided.
I would love to have those forwarded to me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Then I'll take a motion.
Well, Mr. Chair, I'll move that we approve a contract for services with Church at the Park in the amount of $250,000 to provide substance use disorder services to clients residing in Marion County through December 31st, 2023.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes. Carol, you do not get to leave yet, because we're gonna consider approval of the contract for services with Catholic Community Services Foundation. The amount of $234,814 to provide substance use disorder services to clients residing in Marion County through December 31st, 2021. And I have a question. Is it the foundation or is it Catholic Community Services? The foundation usually does not provide services. It's usually the other nonprofit that provides services.
You know, the email I saw said Catholic Community Services Foundation.
Okay.
It may be that they're the recipient of the funds and then they invest in the program
contract,
going
okay.
forward, which would be my guess.
Sorry. Please.
All right, again, for the record, I'm Carol Hurd, Addiction Treatment Services Division Director with Marion County Health and Human Services. And I am here today seeking approval for a contract of $234,814 to Catholic Community Services. Again, this is Measure 110 Burn Grant funding. Catholic Community Services will use this money to primarily focus on increasing navigation services to connect the Pacific Islander community, the Santiam Canyon, as well as other rural areas, and pregnant women with substance use history to needed treatment services. They will do this by hiring 2 full-time community health workers and increase service capacity to individuals with substance use through established connections with Hope Pregnancy Clinic, Fostering Hope Initiative Multidisciplinary Care Team, and in the Santiam Canyon. The community health workers will be bilingual, speaking either Spanish, Russian, Chuukese, or Marshallese to increase capacity to bilingual bicultural communities. They will collaborate with and make referrals to burn grant partner agencies. They will provide resource navigation services to reduce barriers to accessing care and increase awareness and access to services for minority individuals in need of substance use treatment referrals. Provide marketing and resource materials promoting substance use disorder treatment options in multiple languages, as well as hosting community cafes to engage and educate the community regarding substance use treatment options.
Carol, are you open for questions?
I am open for questions.
Okay, any questions?
So are both of these contracts just 1 year investment?
So they are through 2023 with the option to extend through 2025.
But the option to extend comes with additional dollars to be.
We're hoping. That kind of depends on if we get additional money through
But the
110.
250,000 right now is just for
Correct.
kind of a 12-month coverage?
Well, it was intended to start earlier, but
Oh, 18
that didn't
months.
happen, yeah.
Okay, so once this is approved, it'll be kind of a back?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions, Commissioner Cameron? So I was looking at this, so the contract review sheet says Catholic Community Services Foundation, the actual contract says Catholic Community Services of Mid-Willamette Valley and Central Coast. Those are actually 2 different nonprofit organizations. So the contract review sheet was incorrect, but the contract
Okay.
is correct. I serve on the board of Catholic Community Services Foundation, so I was like, this doesn't look
You
right to
remember
me.
this? It was all your idea, Commissioner.
But even if that was the case, because I don't get paid for my services, wouldn't be a conflict of interest for me to vote on that. So I also want to put that on the record. And I would just make the same comment I made before, which is I hope that we're collecting data throughout this contract so that we can evaluate how successful it is.
With each of our community-based organization contracts, we have in there to receive quarterly reporting from those contractors.
Okay, wonderful. Anything else, Commissioners?
No?
I'll take a motion.
All right, I'll move to approve the contract for services with Catholic Community Services in the amount of $234,814 to provide substance use disorder services to clients residing in Marion County through December 31st, 2023.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing,
I have
please.
in the contract, it actually says the contract expires on June 30th, 2024. So I'm seeing that as 18 months, which is different than what you read.
Let's see. It's different, the contract is consistent though?
The contract is different than what your motion
She's stating,
Then the
she's
motion.
stating
Then the motion,
2024.
oh, I
Yeah.
see.
You want to amend your motion?
Yeah, I'll amend my motion to extend the contract through December 31st, 2024. Is that right, Jane?
Looks like.
Oh, excuse me, it's June 30th, 2024.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion, an amended motion, and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. Thank you, James.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Carol.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
I'm just asking staff to make sure that we did make a motion on item number 2. Did you
Yeah, we did.
checking it? Did we?
Yep.
Yeah, and
You
then
made
we
the,
had.
you made the motion.
You made the
Item number
motion.
2. Or, oh,
No,
oh, item number 2.
I handed you the gavel afterwards,
Oh.
so I just wanted to make sure, because I think we had discussion, then I called for a vote. I don't know if we actually had a motion.
You did it all at once. So
Okay.
I heard it.
Just to make sure we're, okay, thanks. Sorry, Mr. Chair, you know, it's a little rusty
Welcome
for
to
me.
the new
I-
year.
I'm sitting in the third chair.
I was the one
you
who
know.
showed up late. Okay, Rhett, you're here, and we're gonna consider approval of amendment number 4 to the contract for services with NSoft Tech. And this is regarding the electronic health records management system. Take it away.
Yes. Good morning, Commissioners. Rhett Martin, Administrative Services Division Director for Marion County Health and Human Services. And yes, I'm here to seek approval for the 4th amendment to the contract for services with Softec, seeking to add $673,308.50 for a new contract total of $5,109,912.20. So as you know, Softec is the primary vendor for Marion County's electronic health records management system, also known as Dr. Cloud. And I'm excited to share that we are currently fully live with EHR in public health. We're scheduling, we're processing workflows, and we are billing for services rendered, so that's super exciting. And the team has recently begun working towards implementation in behavioral health as well. To date, we have expended $3,003,581 of the current contract amount, covering not only the development and implementation of this system, but also integration fees with various third-party interfaces, and it includes the ongoing system license and subscription fees. So with your approval this morning, the contract amendment and its additional funds will establish a new project completion and acceptance date of June 7th, 2023. It will capture and clarify the remaining financial obligations for the county through the duration of the project. It will provide approval to proceed with numerous change requests that are going to cover key features and functions that fell initially outside of the original scope of the project, but have been determined to be needed for successful implementation. And these are largely related to billing, reporting, and regulatory requirements. And then lastly, this amendment will allow for on-site vendor support through the go live of behavioral health in April 2023. We've had in Softec staff on site 2 days a week for the last 3 months, and it's been huge in helping resolve service tickets and whatnot. And it's largely attributed to the progress we've made. So adding this support service as a contract deliverable for the vendor ensures that we're going to be able to continue receiving that same level of support through the duration of the project. Can I answer any further questions?
Any questions for Rhett?
I do, hold on, I gotta do some math. So it looks like about $445,000 is for the 2 people that are gonna be on site through the June 7th, is that right?
Broken down in the change request, it's approximately $69,000 that's for the staff time. $444,703 is project extension fees. And then $228,605 goes to those change requests. And so that the staff time is lumped in with the change requests.
So what's a project extension fee? Like, I don't understand. Because right here I can see the 228 for the change order, but we're basically paying them $500,000 because why?
So the initial contract had a completion date of June 2022. And per the original contract, any month that we went beyond the original date, we were to be imposed a extension fee of $98,823 a month. So if you take June 22 to June 23, would total approximately $1.2 million. Over the last couple of months, though, we've been able to successfully negotiate that down to the amount of $444,000.
Which is like $75,000 a month instead of $98,000.
Basically, they gave us a pretty steep discount so that we could implement some of these changes, include paying for the staff time and lump it into one. So
And so this is gonna be done in June, like done?
that is the plan with behavioral health, public health and behavioral health.
Katrina's shaking her head yes vigorously, like, it's a lot of money, I mean, to be paying $80,000 a month, because I still don't understand why this contract is designed the way that it is, but I did get to witness some staff training in public health recently, and they all looked like their eyes were glazed over, and they needed the candy canes I was handing out. I'm sure they probably wished it was stronger, but I was happy to see them engaging in it.
Mr. Chairman, do you have any questions on
Nope,
this?
you ready for motion?
Just a comment. This is currently working in public health, right?
Yes.
And you're happy with how it's going, Katrina? I'm getting a yes. I know
She's
you're-
not gonna tell you no, just right now, because there's a motion on the table.
Well, the only reason I bring it up is, to your point, this is expensive, right?
Yeah.
Please. This is, we're looking at a $5 million contract to implement a software solution, right?
Mm-hmm.
It better work. I mean, we don't have a record of paying a bunch of money for software solutions that don't work, but there are government agencies a block away that have done that once or twice. And so I just want to make sure, like, these are complicated systems. It's hard for the government to interface with tech companies. It's not a natural fit, and that's why sometimes you have to do these amendments. But at the end of the day, we need the product. And so, yeah, if you could just kind of comment on that, how it's going.
Thank you. Trina Griffith, I'm the Health and Human Services Deputy Director for Marion County. And I just have to preface this with public health was all on paper before making this transition to the electronic health record. And so when you saw me squirm a little bit, that was because it's just difficult to make that jump from paper to electronic. Paper has been very easy. It's worked for them for years. And so Dr. Cloud has been a learning curve, and we've had to go through some growth opportunities with how we communicate with one another and how and changing those workflows to fit with the new electronic model. And so that process has been very eye-opening and challenging, but I think once we get into the system and we're using it for 6 to 12 months, then we'll feel good and comfortable with it. And but yeah, we are using it, we are billing, and I'm looking forward to some of those reporting and data pieces that we haven't been able to get because of the paper system that we've had in public health.
How many months has it been working, so to speak, or been live for public health?
I guess technically we formally went live December 19th, so if you factor in holidays and weather, it hasn't been.
Oh, it's really brand new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
I literally witnessed a team of like maybe 8, literally in
Yeah.
public health, sitting around a table in one of the conference rooms, and their eyes were like glazed over. They were looking at this giant screen. Somebody was talking at them. They
Yeah.
were all on their laptops, really trying to figure it out. But I mean, I think they all understand what we're trying to move towards. This is a benefit to our customers at
Sure.
the end of the day, and
So certain functions have worked prior to
Sure.
1219, like the billing and scheduling. Those have been in use for a while. We're talking about those nursing assessments and forms, and those things went live recently. So now it's everyone in the system using it. So,
the
but-
goal really is for like having an iPad type of like we have mobile nurses that have been using paper, files, and now they'll be able to take a laptop or an iPad or something to their
Yep.
appointment in the home of the babies that they're serving, and then there's immediate input into the system that whomever is utilizing, so they get immediate response. If there's an immediate need, it's in the system. It could be moved forward to a prescribing doctor or whatever, versus us having to bring a team back, enter something into a system, then it go into that
Fax.
electronic system and so forth.
Yeah, I think it's gonna take a while for us to feel super comfortable in the system, but that's to be expected with this, with the new tech system, with the new EHR.
Sheriff's office just went through this. They survived. I mean, the commander may disagree, but they're still breathing.
But importantly, the actual software is working. Like, you can bring it up on a computer, you can work on it. The staff may have to adjust to it, but
Yes.
it's actually working and doing what it's
Feel
supposed to
good
be
about
doing. Great.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, please.
Yeah, there's a project timeline in the contract, and I think what would be really, I know you already gave us a presentation about, 3-4 weeks ago. Just have a presentation once a month on how the progress is going, and there's some technical terms in there. Obviously, I think I understand what complete means. A milestone, I'm not quite sure what that means, and in progress. So milestone, I assume, probably means we've done it, or I think that would be really helpful to alleviate some of the concerns about making sure the project gets completed on time, is that we had, whether it's at management update or someplace.
I think management updates are appropriate.
Just to follow that project timeline and let us know how things are going and what issues you may be running into. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, great.
Okay. Anything else? If not, I'll take a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll move that we approve amendment number 4 for contract for services with Insotech Inc. to add $673,308 $673,308.50 for a new contract total of $5,109,912.20 for the electronic health records management system through September 1st, 2025.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
I'm sorry, so if this is supposed to be complete in June, why does the contract go till 2025?
So that's gonna cover there's annual subscription fees related to the software and the Zoom accounts, because we're able to meet with clients virtually, so it covers that. The remaining time, it basically will extend through the duration of that for the licensing and subscription.
So after June, so let's say July 1st of this year, if you have to engage them, do we have to pay them another $75,000 a month for that?
We would have to negotiate that. If the project's not completed and at an acceptable level by then, due to our work,
Okay.
we would have to, but.
So if we
I
want to
definitely want
engage
to.
in new services with them, because there are modules that we will want to purchase in the future,
Yeah.
we want to wrap public health and behavioral health up nicely first, and then if there's something new, then we would do a new contract. So there, for example, there's a tobacco cessation referral module that we'd like to add on in the future. That's not something we're going to put into this package because we don't want to delay the project any further. That would be a new contract and a new engagement with the vendor.
With all your lessons learned.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks.
Sure thing. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none.
Further.
Got
it.
Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. The motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Okay, Brian, you up next. We're going to consider approval of the incoming funds grant agreement with Oregon Emergency Management, the amount of $294,506 for fiscal year 2022-23 Emergency Management Performance Grant through June 30th, 2023. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. I'm Brian Nicholas, Marion County Public Works Director, and I have a funding agreement with the Oregon Department of Emergency Management for board consideration. Every year, the county receives funds through ODEM's Emergency Management Performance Grant. It's a program that the Office of Emergency Management uses to provide financial resources to counties to help them fund their emergency management program. Some cities also participate in that program. This year, the grant amount that we'll be receiving is a little more than $147,000. We use that funding to offset about half of the labor expenses for 3 of our 4 EM personnel. So We budgeted $165,000 in our budget this year, and then the way the budget timeline works, we have to budget something before OEM tells us what we're going to receive for the coming fiscal year. So we budgeted 165. We shot a little bit higher. This is a small decrease from what the county has received in the past, but I think it was just the formulation. Everybody gets a percentage of that pot of funding, and this is what we end up with for this year.
Any questions? I have a question, Brian. What strings does the state attach to this money?
This is about the most flexible funding that comes our way for emergency management. This is, we can use this for equipment purchases and other things. It's just the simplest thing to do is use it for labor because then the invoicing to the state is really simple. And then we use county funds to buy those materials.
They don't send us encouragements about how to run our program.
No, not really.
Don't encourage them to do so.
I don't have to encourage them. They'll do it without my encouragement. Okay, very good. Any further questions for Mike?
Okay, I'll move to approve the incoming funds grant agreement with the Oregon Emergency Management in the amount of $294,506, of which OEM will provide $147,253, and Marion County will provide $147,253 for the fiscal year 2022-2023 emergency management grant through June 30th, 2023.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom, looks like you're up next. Are you there? There you are. We're going to consider approval of an order to adopt a parks naming procedure. Take it away.
Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, Tom Kissinger, Parks Program Supervisor, here today seeking approval of a draft naming procedure. This procedure has been drafted by the Marion County Parks Commission to define the criteria under which they will recommend naming decisions for parks, park amenities, and other forms of recognition to the Marion County Board of Commissioners. This procedure is based upon a variety of established policies and procedures from park systems throughout the United States, including Oregon State Parks, City of Salem Parks, and the National Park Service. Procedure was recommended for adoption by the Marion County Parks Commission at their regularly scheduled July meeting in accordance with the Parks Commission bylaws, and staff is seeking approval from the Board of Commissioners regarding the draft procedure, and it was a unanimous vote by the Parks Commission.
Great. Are there any questions for Tom?
Mr. Chair, I think this goes back to the fires and how we're going to rebuild parks and what they're going to be called, et cetera, if there's going to be any changes. So I think this is really something we've been waiting for a while, so good job here. Thanks. And if you're ready, I'll make a motion, unless there's other questions.
Did this come to management update?
Yeah.
This did come to management update in
I must have
November.
been gone.
He handed it to us and said, hey, can you get back to us, I think, by Wednesday or
I
Tuesday
literally was not there because I've never seen this, so that's fine. I just, I'm a little surprised by it.
For some reason, I thought you were there. We'll have to look at I feel like we had a discussion about it, and we talked about some of the,
I know that we had a discussion at one point about a naming process and that it was gonna go to the Parks Commission, but not the rest of it. Not like the third paragraph of the review form or a suggested name or what that looked like. Were there other names suggested for this particular park, or was there one, what was the process?
Yeah, not for this particular park. We've received naming requests in the past, and we've never had a way to address those.
So is this just approving the process?
Process.
Or
Just
is-
the process.
Okay.
Not naming anything.
Thank
just the
you.
process.
The process I was there for.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank
This
you.
is just
The
addressing
review form is a little more
process.
involved with information than probably necessary, because it's confusing. Got it. Jan, you wanna borrow my glasses? I'm good.
I see. I
Ready?
see what you're confused by.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right, Mr. Chair, I'll move that we approve an order to adopt a parks naming procedure to define the criteria under which the Marion County Parks Commission will recommend naming decisions for parks, parks amenities, and other forms of recognition.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Tom. And you are staying.
Yep.
And we're going to consider approval of the incoming funds grant agreement with the Oregon Watershed Enhancement Board in the amount of $639,482 for the North Santiam Watershed Post-Fire Restoration and Stakeholder Engagement. Tell us about this.
Yep. So again, Tom Kissinger, Parks Program Supervisor, seeking approval of a grant agreement with the Oregon Watershed Enhancement Board, or OWEB for short, for post-fire recovery in the Santiam Canyon parks. So after the fires, the Beachy Creek Fire swept through the Santiam Canyon, parks were significantly impacted this. Some of our parks experienced 90 to almost 100% tree loss and vegetation loss. So Marion County Parks has developed a restoration plan that will revegetate the natural environment for public use, control noxious weeds that are spreading post-fire, and restore critical habitat for fish and wildlife. We applied for and were awarded a post-fire recovery grant from OWEB to help with the costs associated with this restoration work in the 6 parks in the Santiam Canyon. The total grant agreement is for $639,482, and there is no required match from the county. The work will be performed by contractors, and a request for proposals has actually been completed. We've selected the contractors, and we'll be bringing that contract to you in the near future.
Did this come to the board at a management update?
I don't believe this
I
one
don't remember
did.
this one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Are there any questions, Commissioners? The only reason I bring it up, Tom, is because the state has done some of this other kinds of work that we participated with.
Sure.
And it hasn't always been done the way, and it's been through contracts, hasn't always been done the way that I think I would have liked to have seen it done. And some of our constituents in the canyon, they then call us and they're like, hey, why are you guys doing this way, or why are you doing it that way, or why are you causing this sort of trouble up here?
Yep.
And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, we did, participate in this grant with this agency or that agency, and then they're up there, doing things in a way that maybe people aren't used to.
Sure.
And then we get sort of, we get it explained to us by our constituents. So, because this hasn't come to management update, I am a little bit like, how is this gonna work? Because part of what this is talking about is post-fire restoration and stakeholder engagement. So that concerns me, because that means we're gonna have a bunch of state bureaucrats up there causing trouble. Tell me why that's not the case.
No, so this is basically a reimbursement grant for the work that we're doing, and it's mainly replanting. The stakeholder engagement is signage to explain what restoration activities are going on in the parks. So some of the things that we've talked about in our work sessions describing the restoration plans for the parks, this grant is gonna pay for that work.
So they're not going to hold community meetings up there,
No.
or are they?
And this only has to do with our 6 parks. This isn't like a free-for-all access to the canyon for
Correct.
recovery or along the watershed. It's literally just the 6 parks. So for example, the park up, maybe North Fork Park, he came at one point and showed us a bunch of images of invasive species. And they're gonna go, is this connected to trying to mitigate some of that and replant
Yes.
some of the natural growth so that way our trees can recover, we can have a good campsite, if
Yep.
that moves ahead? Right.
Yep,
Okay.
that's exactly what this is for. And this will pay for the replanting activities and then signage that kind of explains to the public.
And the signage
restoration.
goes at the park.
Correct.
And what will the sign say?
It'll just explain why watersheds are important, why plantings are important, why do we control noxious weeds, educational.
Like, it'll talk about like what riparian replanting is.
Exactly.
Which is like a word that nobody understands, but they do a really good job of breaking it down, unless you're a horticulturalist, I suppose.
Right. It'll
But
take those scientific terms
Yeah.
and make them digestible for the public.
Okay.
I share your same concerns. I really wish this would have come to management update so we could have had a more in-depth understanding of what they were gonna be doing at the parks with this. And I understand it's a reimbursement, but when I hear the concept reimbursement, I think we have X number of parks people doing certain types of work and that's paying for them to do that. That's not the case here, because, right?
So we are gonna hire a contractor and this will pay for the fees that
Yeah,
we'll
so
pay
it's
the
not paying for our staff to do the work.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
And the contractor is going to plant things, control noxious weeds, and put up signs, is that?
Correct. Yep.
what that- Okay. I'm just seeing some
about 300,000
Mr. Chair.
plans.
Yeah, please.
Might be helpful, Tom, if you brought the request for proposal and the contract to management update. That'll explain a little bit better what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, we can do
This
that.
is just a contract to get the money to get that work done. That'll help explain the work that we're trying to do. And I think part of the community outreach is part of your overall plan as you build these parks. You're having meetings to explain to people what you're doing.
Yep.
This is part of that explanation
Correct.
in the overall restoration of the parks.
Yes. Yep.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Please.
Why are you guys interacting with Grand Round and not Warm Springs?
We are actually interacting with both. It's just at that time we hadn't had a chance to meet with them yet.
Okay, thanks.
Warm Springs is actually our adjacent neighbor at Niagara. So.
Well, hence the question.
Yep.
Grand Round seems a little bit west of this situation.
Okay. Is there any further questions for Tom? Are there any further questions for Tom? I apologize for my grammar. Any further?
No.
No. Okay, then I will take a motion.
All right, I move to approve the incoming funds grant agreement with the Oregon Watershed Enhancement Board in the amount of $639,482 for North Santiam Watershed post-fire restoration and stakeholder engagement through December 31st, 2023.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion, and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. The motion passes. Please get us some more of these documents, Tom.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Ryan, come on down. We're going to consider approval of the construction of a construction contract with Roy Hout Construction in the amount of $1,860,729.90, of which an estimated $1,669,366 will be provided in federal funds, and an estimated $191,097 will be provided in county funds for the construction of Lancaster Drive, Center Street to Monroe Avenue. In Salem. Is it in Salem or is it in New Marion?
It is
He's setting you up for failure. So.
within the Salem UGB.
I love that you're the chair doing this. It's so much fun.
So for the record, Ryan Crowther, Marion County Capital Projects Manager. And as you said, I'm here today to talk about our Lancaster Drive project from Center Street to Monroe Avenue. So you can see here where the project's located. It is in the East Salem area on Lancaster Drive. It's approximately 0.45 miles long on Lancaster. So for those that aren't familiar with the area, this is an area that has older pedestrian pathways. Some aren't even concrete, they're just asphalt. There's ADA ramps that aren't up to standard, and there's significant cross slopes on the roadway and grade differentials as you go into businesses. So what the project scope is it'll rehabilitate this older section of Lancaster. We'll build new sidewalks where they're needed. Where the sidewalks are in good shape, we won't replace them. We're only replacing what's needed. Curb ramps, so ADA curb ramps, driveway grade corrections, repairing pavement where we're going to need to, and also doing an overlay. When we bring that curb line up to do those grade corrections, it's going to lead to a significant overlay, which improves kind of the section of our roadway, adds asphalt, makes it more robust. We're also going to consolidate access points where possible with the businesses. We've done a lot of outreach. We've worked with the businesses and come up with a plan that is good for both the county and the businesses to make sure that traffic is able to get in and out of those areas effectively. And then finally, we're going to construct an enhanced pedestrian crossing near Monroe Avenue. So what this is it's a construction contract. We went out and competitively bid the project. Our low bid was submitted by Roy Hout Construction, and it was $1,860,730. And our schedule, assuming you approve the contract, is to complete construction by November of 2023. So essentially, they have next summer, next construction season to get this work done. And with that, I'd open it up to any questions.
Any questions for Ryan?
Sure, yes, please. Ryan, where was this on Lancaster? What was
It's Geppetto's parking lot.
So it is, yeah, actually.
It is.
Yeah,
The
How far north does it go?
For north, almost to Center Street, it stops in front of, there's a burger.
Nancy's Burgers.
Yes.
Come on.
Geppetto's and Nancy's Burgers, come on.
So we stop just in front of Nancy's Burgers. We
There's no
don't.
map.
There's also
There's-
East Salem Liquor
there's
Store
an
in there,
office.
Commissioner.
Well, that's around the corner. I know
No,
that.
it's
No, it's in the
literally
same
in this,
parking lot
it's
as
in this
Geppetto's.
same
It's-
parking
It's
lot.
up around. I know where that is.
Okay.
They have good cigars.
There's a Columbia Bank on the southwest corner, kind of just up the road, a little jog from the Roadhouse. I mean, I'm very familiar with this parking lot. If you haven't been to Geppetto's, I highly recommend it.
So there's a railroad crossing to the south, isn't that right? An old railroad crossing?
No?
I am not familiar with that. There's,
Way south. Like, you're looking to where, just before where the old G.I. Joe's, which is Sportsman's Warehouse, the railroad crossing
Right.
is just north of that.
Right.
This is like 2.5 blocks, Lancaster blocks.
So it's a
north
half a
of that.
mile from Center Street to Monroe Avenue. Okay,
So
thank you. That's all.
almost about halfway to State Street. So we go from Center just about halfway. And then the next project we have looked at and applied for in the past is to go from where this ends all the way to State Street.
Wow.
We weren't successful in getting funding for that project, but that was a project that we applied for federal funding for.
That would be a great project. There's a lot of kids. There's 2 elementary schools that are back. There's one in this neighborhood to the east of it, and then on State Street back, kind of jogs a little southeast, where kiddos walk up and down Lancaster. There's a Dairy Queen in the middle of what you're talking about that kids walk to. So that would be a great project to get in the future. But this one takes off bumpers as people try to enter into that parking lot, because there's like this ridiculous ditch that connects the road and the parking lot. Mr. Chair, if I may, the question I have for you is about the parking lot. So you said you worked with the businesses. Is the parking lot owner of that strip mall going to be able to enhance their parking lot or kind of restructure it so that way when the road comes up and the sidewalk comes up, it's not causing any challenges?
So
or are we doing all that?
We will reconnect in, so we won't limit access to their parking lot. We actually have worked with them. We'll raise the grade, we will connect into their parking lot. We won't do any improvements to the private property, but we will reconnect the roadway so that we don't limit access.
It'll be a nice, nice
Exactly.
smooth entrance, basically.
Yes.
That's great.
And that is where we are doing some consolidation of driveways. So they won't have as many driveways as they do now, but they will have more effective
I
driveways.
did count when I was over there last. There's a St. Vincent de Paul thrift store in there too that I shop at. There's 6 parking lots from end to end in this stretch, or entrances into the parking lot, which creates a problem for the stop and go flow of Lancaster traffic. I imagine our ESSD and Salem Police are always responding to fender benders over there.
How is this gonna impact, traffic on Lang? I mean, that is not a untraveled road, so next summer, I mean, is Lancaster gonna shut down, or how?
That is a really good question. I should have put that in my presentation. This is actually required to be night work anytime they are impacting a lane on Lancaster.
Okay.
That's perfect.
So the majority of this work will be done when there's not as much traffic
Wonderful.
on
Okay.
Lancaster. They won't shut Lancaster down, they will take one lane
Okay.
at a time. During paving, there will be some more extensive impacts, but that is pretty limited.
Yeah.
All at night, though.
All of the major work at night, they can do some work on the side streets, or if they're working on sidewalk and able to not impact a lane of travel, they're able to work during the day, but we expect that they'll stick to.
But when they do the
primarily night
asphalt,
work.
like that lane's gonna be closed until it's done,
Yeah.
which is a few days probably.
They can leave a small lip, and so a lot of what we'll do is go out, we'll pave at night, and then reopen it with a small lip. We don't control the means and methods of the contractor, but we have said they're not allowed to keep lanes closed during the day. So they've got to come up with a way of constructing this and opening lanes during the day.
That's exciting.
Please, Mr. Chair.
Well,
Mr. Chair.
this is very personal to me, and I see Commander in the back. Make sure you mark this really well, that it's a construction zone. Because the last time I got pinched, and it was by a Marion
It was
County.
literally in this area.
It was when they were doing construction from Market Street South, and a Marion County motorcycle deputy, who now is with the state police, I won't name him, was very nice about giving me a ticket, and I said, go get the real guys. But it wasn't marked properly when you made the turn about construction zone. So just make sure it's marked off of Monroe and Center Street, and people making these turns, that this is now a construction zone, and the speed's gone down from what, 35 on Lancaster, I think? Or 35 down to, probably it'll be a 25 zone.
We actually don't have plans to reduce the speed limit.
Well, why didn't they do that in the last construction zone?
We
Never
look-
mind.
Because
Forget
there's
it.
probably-
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chair.
Wait, I just have one question. I just want to make sure the commander's ESSD team can be doing outreach and communication to Tribby's over there. He does a great job of communicating with citizens. This would be a great update on, hey, this is coming to the South community, since it's going to impact the South ESSD. And then the businesses, I assume, will be noticed that this is coming, that's in that space?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That's all I have.
Okay,
Thank you.
enough of my problem. Mr. Chair, you ready?
I am.
Okay.
It's funny, I was just gonna say, before you do, you were worried about getting tickets. I was thinking, man, maybe we need to have more deputies there to ensure safety throughout through this.
Oh, don't worry.
Because we're gonna have
Don't
workers
worry.
there, and it's gonna be a high
Don't
traffic
worry.
area.
If they reduce it, it's a construction zone, it's double the fine. Our guys will be there if that's the case. Trust me.
There are magnets to those zones.
Don't get me started. All right, Mr. Chair, I'll move that we approve construction contract with Roy Hawk Construction LLC in the amount of $1,860,729.90, of which the estimated $1,669,366. Let me say that again. $1,669,366 will be provided by federal funds, and I'm going to assume an estimated $191,097.90, it's not in there, will be provided by county funds for the construction of Lancaster Drive, Center Street to Monroe Avenue, Salem project. Somebody's got to pay the 90 pennies.
I have to second the motion, sorry.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? The only thing that I would add, Ryan, I want you to know, is we got sworn in yesterday, and my family was here, and so the girls were all of a sudden interested in what their dad does for a living. And I brought up roads, and my wife, who's like the normal person in our house, she's like, I actually appreciate like the roads. Like when you guys do good roads, like I actually really like that. So I just want you to know that the average citizen in Marion County appreciates when you fix their roads.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
You're doing a great job.
We have a motion second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Ryan. Okay, Commander Stutrud, come on down.
Here's my
Nice
comeback.
to see you.
We're going to consider approval amendment number 1 to the incoming funds intergovernmental agreement with the city of Jefferson to add $285,812 for a new contract total of $682,471 for one additional patrol deputy and patrol vehicle utilized for patrol services through June 30th, 2023. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeff Stutrud, Enforcement Commander with the Sheriff's Office, and Commissioner Cameron, I do not have a comeback for you for driving.
You get what you get.
Just doing my job,
do it.
sir. Just doing my job.
That's what you should say. Jan had it. She said just follow the law. Drive the speed.
There is that. I'm here today to ask the board to consider approval for Amendment 1 for the City of Jefferson contract in the amount of $285,812. So as you know, we've had a long-standing contract with the City of Jefferson for 2 deputies to provide law enforcement services. That's been almost 25 years. I remember in 1999 when I was a new deputy riding with our current Sheriff Joe Cast as my FTO in the City of Jefferson. So that contract's been around for quite some time, but as I said, it was only for 2 deputies. Over the last year or so, the City of Jefferson has really been interested in adding a 3rd deputy position. So they held a series of public meetings and work sessions with the community to get input and have discussions about, is this the best thing for the community? Is there community support? And I'm happy to say overwhelmingly, I attended all of those meetings, provided input, answered questions from the community members, overwhelming support from the community of Jefferson. There was a few questions about looking back to previous to us having law enforcement contracts and going back to them having their own police department. I answered a few questions on that, just mentioned some things to consider. And ultimately, after all those meetings and discussions, the city council voted unanimously to add a third deputy position to the contract, which is where the $285,000 comes in. That funds a deputy full-time, an additional deputy, as well as equipment and a vehicle for the contract services. This is a great relationship, long-standing, and it's really what got us in the contracting business with some of the smaller cities, and it's been the example that we followed throughout the rest of the contracts that have come afterwards. Any questions?
I don't have any questions. I just want to say, one, thank you for your participation in this process. The commissioners did receive some public input, I would say, 9 months ago from individuals who were opposed to this.
Yes.
Their statements to us were it wasn't a public process, the public wasn't invited to participate. I spent a fair amount of my own time researching the process, which extended over a 6-month period with public meetings and public input. The city has all those minutes on their website, and I communicated with city staff and as well as city councilors. I agree that a third position is much needed in Jefferson. I spend time in that community. There's a fair amount of crime out there, and while the 2 deputies that have consistently been there over time have done a good job, there needs to be a more community policing presence, in my opinion, in Jefferson, to be able to keep the citizens safe. And I think that this will be able to provide that opportunity, and hopefully whoever you place, if they're not already there, has that community policing mindset. I'm going to refer back to who is now Sergeant Olson, who was a deputy covering Jefferson when I was campaigning, and I spent time with him out there, and the community responded so positively to the way he participated, kind of exhaustively in his efforts. I know that is missed by the citizens, and I hope that this third position can get that back, because the crime has gone back up. There's a fair amount of drug activity. I just actually had a citizen email me. I'll be forwarding that email to you with some stuff going on next door to them. This is needed. Public safety is needed in our small communities because criminals like to go where they're unseen, and we need to make sure they're seen in these spaces. And I'm grateful that Jefferson is looking for ways to really support a good quality living environment, and that they have the opportunity to partner with the sheriff's office. So good work. I know it was extensive and not loved. I mean, nobody wants increased taxes or fees,
Right.
But I think in the end they'll understand and appreciate the service that they're receiving from your team with this addition.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that, Deputy Sean Connolly is going to be the deputy assigned down there. We just replaced a different deputy, Nate Morse, who went down there recently. So we can I will pass on to them definitely the community policing aspect to it and engagement there. The other piece that's kind of unique to Jefferson is they're so close, they're right on the border between Lynn County and Marion County. And so not only is it folks that are committing crimes
Right.
in Marion County, it's also folks that are going into Lynn County and that crossover. So they work very closely with the Lynn County teams as well.
One of the things that I noticed recently when I was down there kind of observing a complaint from a citizen was that I didn't realize how easily accessible I-5 is to the community of Jefferson.
Right.
And that enhances the ability for crime. In this particular situation, I fully believe that these people who are up to no good chose their location because it's within minutes of I-5 access, south or north, which makes sense. I mean, we just kind of went through a debrief with state police and ATF and so forth on the criminals and the drug activity that's occurring on I-5 corridor. And I would say Jefferson is a ripe spot
Yes.
for folks to just go and do the things that we don't want them doing in Marion County. So I'm looking forward to this presence.
I think also those jail beds will help too. We gotta get those jail beds open this summer. Yeah, it's just that the capacity's tight there,
Right.
and that impacts this as well.
Yeah.
Anything else, Commissioner Kane?
Oh, good.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve amendment number 1 to the incoming funds intergovernmental agreement with the city of Jefferson to add $285,812 for a new contract total of $682,471 for 1 additional patrol deputy and patrol vehicle utilized for patrol services through June 30th, 2023.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The
Thank
motion
you.
passes.
Hey, did you notice my cup? It's red, I love it. It actually keeps my coffee warm.
Yeah, there
Very
you
happy
go.
about that.
All right, that does it for our agenda this morning. Is there anything else before we adjourn?
I just want to say to the community, it's 2023, and we do our best effort as a board to participate in the community and conversations. Usually, at some point in the month, we're in some region of Marion County communicating, interacting with city councilors, mayors, and citizens. And this year, we are changing up the way that looks. Trying to provide more access to ourselves, to the citizens and those other elected officials. Jessica Stanton in our office will be communicating with the public on what those monthly meetings look like. So I want folks to not be surprised when they get a call or an email from our office letting you know that instead of maybe being in person, we're going to invite you to a conference call so we can have more participation. We know a lot of our elected officials in our 20 cities are working individuals, and they can't always drive to a location to meet with us, and they've requested kind of more of a two-way relationship, and hopefully being able to host a virtual space for them provides them that access to us. And also, the community is always welcome. You don't have to be an elected official to come to those meetings. We have lunches and breakfasts across Marion County frequently and love to hear from the public. So be prepared for that to come forward, and I'm excited for the way we're gonna get out and about this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Commissioner Kane?
Great.
Very good. Okay, as always, our upcoming calendar for the next week is on the website, so check it if you want to know where to find us. And with that, we are adjourned. Happy New Year.
New Year.